It's a miserable start to February. There's Terry. Hello, good morning and welcome to White Details February vlog. Kicking things off with a Sapang Blue Audi RS6 Avant. Two-stage minor paint correction on the RS6 Sapang Blue. This has been cut. If we go up, here we've got the haze and sander marks. This bonnet has been painted. One of many panels on this car that's seen paintwork. You can see there the clusters, the pigtails, the half moon sort of rash, if you will. It's worse up this top end. Really thick, really heavy. Under the big lights there, can you see this tide mark? That's the edge of the disc where the sander has been. So it's just another way of seeing the damage on the different light forms. The same edge is there, a different angle. Monday, and this week really isn't getting off to the best start. Sapang Blue RS6 is rock hard. It's like granite. On a whole, in the end, the bonnet's come up well, but this is a panel that has been painted. There's a couple of panels down the driver's side which also have seen some paintwork. But then we get on to the front near side door, and this is where the complications start. If I go onto the wing, you can see the surface haze and the movement. The light stuff which robs and kills the clarity. We go across, it's very much improved. But the buckling is a two-stage minor paint correction detail, so on paper this should be cut, one cutting pass, one refiner pass. Cut, refine. What we're aiming for is between 70 and 80% defect removal. I think here this has been accomplished, but this is after 2, maybe 3. Look down the bottom, there's some marks down there. Still some deeper ones remaining. This has had 2 aggressive cutting sets, and it could probably, for me to be happy, need a third. The light stuff really is going to be difficult to see under normal lighting conditions, but it is certainly a lot easier sometimes to say, you know what, it's the white detail package. If you can see it, remove it if it's safe to do so. There's no line to be drawn. Whereas with this, we have a timescale and we have a budget. But we move on to the near side rear door now, and we have a pretty good scratch there, which of course really can't be left behind, so do what we can about that. And then look underneath this swage line, you see how it's dull? There's a dull spot. It runs across, it fades out a little bit and comes back. If we zoom in and get really close, you can see there sander marks, flattened marks. There's a dull edge. The dull edge runs the majority of the length of the door. So when this has been buzzed with maybe a Trizac disc they've got underneath that ledge line, they've then polished and buffed. But this is why I stress so much that the 3-inch pad, the small pad and the hybrid is that important, because that has been missed. So their big pad hasn't been able to get tight to the edge, thus introducing the hybrid of the 3-inch will allow that to be removed. If you're wondering why we're not on the normal bay, not on the normal platform, we're actually through next door in the spare bay, which is more used for collections and storage. It is because the Mercedes is sat on charge, waiting on collection first thing in the morning. It'll be a shame to have covered it in dust, so I brought the little coupe through, sit to one side, and that's going out G-Wagon after last week's 7-day mammoth detail. That's going out first thing in the morning. And this is what the Audi's paint should look like. So this will be done in the morning. We'll bring the Audi through. The Audi will go on the ramp, up in the air. Wheels come off, carry on polishing. About 40 minutes later, these wheels are finally showing signs of improvements. The pitting is really badly caked on these, and this one, which is the offside front, is particularly bad. It's going to take another 3 or 4 hits to get this off. I wonder if there's been any disc issues, brake disc. But these, they're about done now. They'll be cleaned up and rinsed off. And then back on the car. No coating for these wheels, just a deep cleanse to take the brake pitting off and the tar deposits.
Okay, so today is a sad day. About 13 years ago to the day, I purchased the Portacable 7424. This device, the D8, an 8mm throw, I believe. You can put a 5-inch pad on this, you can put the 3-inch, I use this predominantly with the 3-inch, whilst Terry is on the LHR 75, which is very smooth and very silky. This has done the job, and it's proven a point that it doesn't have to always be the top dollar stuff to do the work. However, after endless cable changes, carbon brushes changed, it's now smelling a bit funky, and it's surging in power, which is extremely frustrating. It's just like that, and it's about time it retired. So here, I'm guessing you can perhaps tell what this might be. Didn't necessarily need the full kit, but I believe you can only source it. Oh, what we do have though is a new Rupes apron. Nah. Ooh, shiny and new. We have twins. Smashing. Starter pack, don't you know? The yellow and blue pads, a selection of microfibers which I've never used, and then Zephyr compound, and then the ceramic gloss compounds. I tell you what, because the only thing I need really out of this whole kit is the tool, let's do a giveaway. How are we going to do this? It's going to be UK mainland only. If you want to get hold of the Rupes kit bag, I've got 2 up there with the apron, the polishes, the pads, the microfiber towels, and I'll see what else we can throw in. Somewhere in the rest of this video, got to interrupt, I've changed my mind regards the rules for the giveaway competition. So the monthly episode is going to contain a giveaway each month. So January had the wheelie stool, this month is the Rupes kit, the spares,
March will have one, April will have one, May will have one. To be within a chance of winning this, there are 3 things I need from you that you need to answer. Number 1, in the last 10 episodes, which vehicle was it that Terry tripped up on and nearly chinned himself on the roof rail of the vehicle, tripped up on the ramp, staggered and sort of fell towards the car. I replayed it a few times and there's a bit of a slow motion sequence as well. So number 1, what was the vehicle that Terry tripped up on? Number 2, which company, which brand sent Terry and I black and white t-shirts recently, again in the vlog episodes? And number 3, in the 612 vlog, which is a separate video to this, so the answer for the number 3 isn't in this video, you'll have to watch the Ferrari vlog. In the Ferrari vlog, somewhere hidden in the background, hidden in the foreground, is going to be the PG Tips monkey. So monkey, he will be hidden somewhere in the footage, so I need to know the timestamp of where he is visible. Number 1, which vehicle did Terry trip up on? Number 2, which brand sent the t-shirts? And number 3, what timestamp is monkey visible in the Ferrari vlog? The first person to answer all 3 in the comment section below wins. Good luck. Blue 30mm Sapang Blue touch-up, applied to the smallest of areas on the Audi's door edges, the bumpers, the side skirts, on the roof line, just as a temporary take your eye off the white chip scenario. Lots of people asking about where I source the touch-ups from, where they can buy them. This is supplied to me via from a local automotive factors, Fisher Motor Factors. I've spoken to the chaps at Fisher Motor Factors and they are able to courier these. So if you are in need of a paint touch-up, this comes, as I say, 30mm. You've got a brush, which I don't use, and then there's the little nib. And then there's the little nib under the lid, which I still believe the cocktail stick is the most accurate method. But they're willing to, they're looking at about £20 posted. Certainly in the UK anyway. If you're outside the UK, it may be more, don't quote me. But phone Fisher Motor Factors, the number is on the screen now. It's in the video description below if you want to go and check them out. Speak to Matt, Jamie or Simon, very helpful chaps. What you will need is the colour code for the vehicle. So although we know this is Sapang Blue, usually there might be 3, 4, 5 versions of Sapang Blue. What I need to supply is the colour code. On some manufacturers they can do this off the wheels. On some manufacturers they can do this off the registration plate. However, the knowledgeable chaps in some cases Do request and do need the colour code. Sometimes you will find this in the engine bay, sometimes you'll find it on the sticker on the driver's door slam panel, inside the door shut. Jamie, who I spoke to at Fisher's for the Audi, knew exactly where it was. Located here. This little sticker in the back under the boot flooring. So if you need a paint touch-up for your vehicle, for a customer's car that you may have coming in, do get in touch, speak to the guys, say that Jim at WhiteDetails mentioned you, and you're welcome. Rescued the winter tyres out the back of the Audi. Imagine the weight, and with the seats being down all the time, it doesn't do the leathers much good. Look how it's creased the leather from having the seat down for a period of time. That's not ideal. Hopefully, the car's with me for a few more days until Saturday, so I thought it's best to actually take the wheels out and allow the leather to not be squashed, basically, for the time it's here, at least anyway. So yeah, a little trick with the car key here for the Audi. It's a bit scratched up. I wonder if we can polish that later. Most modern cars do this. You saw me do it to open the windows to unlock the car. I know certainly my BMs in the past have done it as well. Mercs also. Worth a try in your own car. Press and hold. Open. The window's open. Press and hold lock. The windows automatically close. Purpose behind this, I think, why is that flashing? I think if you're walking up towards the car and it's a blazing hot day, you can just do it from distance. Open the windows to let some air in, let the heat out. But for this purpose, to do that top inch of the glass, very handy. Cleaning the glass, I discovered this little patch. I believe this is lacquer overspray. This has had some work down this side. Masking marks, overspray, lacquer has left a patch that needs removing. How? Thinners! Splash a little bit. Probably advised to wear gloves at this point. Poor, it smells. Alright, avoid the paint. Give it a bit, give it a bit, give it a bit, give it a bit, give it a bit more, give it away, give it away, give it away now, give it away, give it away, give it away now. This is really difficult. One-handed. Oh, there's a little bit left. Give it a bit more. You need a spritz of this. You have some of that. You go on there. And then you do some of that. And then we have one thinners spot removed. Now we have an overspray spot removed. Moral of the story is, if you have a patch of overspray. Wow, bloody camera. Okay, it's zooming automatically. Sorry. Consider thinners. Anyway. Mr. Alan Medcraft from AM Details. Alan is a Rupes stockist and has been able to hook me up with this 75 at a last minute notice, as well as the hybrid earlier this year. If you want to get involved and pick up the 2175, the Rupes hybrid, or the LHR 15, or any of Alan's other gear, then do consider using JW10 discount code. This covers the whole range on the AM Details website, including your Rupes gear. So these are 3, 4, 5. Hybrid is £600, so 10% off. Every little helps. Please though bear in mind that what with Alan being a UK supplier,
If you are overseas, you don't have to think about the plug situation, so pretty much sure it's only going to be for, again, UK mainland. I like this. Stir it up, get the brush on it, it'll clean up nicely.
Oh, that's a point, and brush the dust off that.
Suppose we'd better look around this before we start. Brand new, I say brand new, not sure what the mileage is. New car prep. Noticed outside that the bumpers are particularly bad compared to the rest. There's one here, good scratch there, and then there's an abrasion down the side, like a cable or a hose has been scraped around. So new car preps consist of a single stage polish, but this obviously won't lift. So that, out the goodness of a heart, is going to be localized. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour.
Pretty, isn't it?
There's a couple of marks and there's like edges where I think what film has been left and pulled off. So gonna find some buffer trails here somewhere. It's quite a fiddly front end. There's a lot going on in terms of areas to polish. Doors looking generally okay. Yeah, buffer trails, finally. Buffer trailing underneath the light cluster. Rear bumper is pretty bad, to be honest. Look at this. There's a lot of damage there.
Yeah.
Side skirts the same as the bumpers. Plastics typically are pretty bad. The rest of it generally okay. So we have Team Blue currently. Audi's going to be covered up. We should do that now before we start the polishing. Cover the Audi that's been picked up on Saturday. I don't know what this is called. By the way, it's lovely. So on a whole, as you know, we don't really recommend car covers, but because any contact is bad contact, but because that is as immaculate as it is, that's just a very light cling film essentially, which goes on and it goes off, so it just saves it being covered in dust. There is something through in the third bay, so this can get polished without interfering with the Audi.
Have you set this up?
On the most part, a new car prep boasts the single stage machine polish, which is a refining pass, a nice mild finishing polish, which is going to jewel the paint and make it look outstanding. It's limited as to the amount of cut it can perform in that one pass. The heavier you go with the cut of the single stage, the more need then to refine of the second stage. On the plastics and the 500 or the above, it makes life difficult. The front bumper, spoiler, rear bumper, and now the side skirts. The spoiler's already been cut with the microfiber cutting pad, just they're battered. They really have taken the beating already. A lot of it we can say has been induced from the factory. If we look, if we get the light right on the sill, you can see there are some bash marks, what look like heels, feet going in. So this would be tidied up. It would be, and there's a buffer trail that runs across there as well. See the movement left to right. This would be tidied up with a single stage, but because it's such an upwards facing panel, light coming down onto that, if you're walking past, look, it stands out. So it's going to be worth spending 10 minutes just performing a bit of a cut on this to improve things before we use this pad to do the refining. You won't be able to see from there. I'm going to open the door. Ding. Just going to go halfway first of all, just to get an idea. So this is the before, the far left. As we strafe to the right, you'll see it fizzle and filter out. So looking a lot better. From that, we still need clearing up to this, but if you look there, there's still the remains of the deepest mark here under the scan grip light. Where's it gone? There. It needs another hit, so what I can do, I'm happy with the rest of this now. When I tackle this half, I'll just extend it out another 3 inches to cover this again, to hit that a second time. And then all is well. I'm going to be in trouble very soon. It is 5/28, February 1st. At the start of each month, I hope to upload the last month's vlog. All being well, timescales for the editing, all that sort of stuff to consider. But I put a post up earlier saying the vlog will be live at 5:30 UK time, and it's 5:31. Alright, here we go. I do like this bit. I like to edit January at WhiteDetails. WhatsApp coming through. Philip Sirocco en route ETA 5 to 7. Unlisted to public. January at WhiteDetails. All the gear. Save. And now we are live. Gonna keep, oh god, I've covered the camera in polish. Gonna keep an eye on the clock, and I will report back with the stats after the first half an hour. So those of you that are on the notification squad, I'm sure you're now ping, 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 ping. I'm gonna have a cheeky peek to see if it is live. Yeah, 25 already. That's a strong effort. It's 10 past 7, so just over an hour and a half since the video was posted, and we've had 1250 views. What a great format, plus give you a bit more time to yourself. That was the idea, but we are here at 10 past 7. This channel deserves way more subscribers. Thank you to the mechanic. Interesting new format. I look forward to the monthlies. I think it would have ended up killing you or your enthusiasm for the videos if you had kept the old format for much longer. Spoke too soon. A day's worth of editing after a day's worth of polishing would be enough to put anyone off. Still, after running around the Porsche, do you think you're ready for another holiday? Or did your Christmas pudding contain something that you weren't aware of? Yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd get that joke. Steve says, away with work at the moment, bored as in the hotel, and then I get a notification there's a new video on the way. Day just got a lot better. Good reception so far, thanks again. End of day one for the little Fiat, refreshingly nice to have something a little smaller after the G-Wagon, then the RS6. Then the RS6, look at that colour. I need to learn, I must learn what colour this is. Bumpers, side skirt, spoiler, had a bit more correction to sort the swirling and the light scratches. And now this awaits Mose Plus paint protection in the morning, followed by wheel and caliper protection, and then it'll be on its way on Saturday afternoon. I am now off to the gym. Eesh! Third coffee of the day, and it's only 11:30. Lined up for the bath, Mose Plus going on. On the most part, this multi-layered ceramic, each layer, on average, on an average size vehicle, let's say about an hour and a half. This is to get the intricacies and the smallest little details out of interest. I'm gonna set a timer for this little monster and see how, I mean, it's never gonna be a race. It's not a race, you don't wanna be rushing it. See how quickly we can get round. Nowadays, everybody want to talk, but they got something to say. When nothing comes out, they move the lips. Gotta put it in everybody. Done. One hour and 10 minutes. So there we go. Takes as long as it takes. People claim to do it in 30, 40 minutes, and not for me. An hour and 10, so on average an hour and a half for a normal size vehicle. This now needs 4 hours before the second part can go down, because I'm not using the IR lamps just yet. In that time I can do the glass, I can do the wheels, I can coat the calipers, I can sort the exhausts and prep the interior. 1:45. It's gonna be a late one. Fiat. Saturday, I think the 3rd of Feb. I love how this vlog will be quite a way into the episode so far, and it's only the 3rd of Feb. Little bath, waiting on collection. The RS4 has been picked up. First car in today is the Civic Type R. This is one for next week. 3 cars in the unit, so this had to go outside. Now, a little experiment that'll be of interest. It's not been driven since it was completed, it's just been stored inside the M Coupe, and this is Mose Plus. This is the water formation, just having been out in the rain. Get a side-on shot of the water beading on the wing of the bonnet. See the water contact angle, how nice and proud it is. If I even blow at it, you can see how easily it disperses.
Some pretty patterns up on the roof. And then if we look at the Civic, the water formation on the Civic's roof, it's patchy, blotchy, splotchy. There's no protection on this. And it sort of just clings. This is actually going to be wearing the same systems as the BM. But because the car underneath is actually still clean, just an experiment. So I'm going to use the vehicle blower to blast the BM down to dry off the water bead, the volume of water. See what the finish is like and see how easy it is to eliminate all this surface water in a contactless method. You're gonna need these. Over 11 minutes. Memory card's full on the GoPro, and the battery light is flashing on the Canon. This is a meltdown. On a whole, really impressed with that. That's going to be my go-to drying procedure. I'm going to try and avoid any contact during the drying stage. If I can just use the air to eliminate the surface water. I've not been overly thorough here, because I'm hoping the car is going out tomorrow anyway. But very impressive, a lot of fun actually. This is an annoying section. If this was a vehicle for a full detail now, this would have been eliminated altogether, but that just keeps collecting underneath the rubber. But there's no spotting, there's no issues, there's no streaking. It's had a night out in the rain, it's had a day out in the rain. Pretty impressive. You get the registration plates on there. How good does this look? I love it. And then the Type R, which is a seriously sharp, aggressive looking thing. New Civic Type R. Considering this vehicle holds the Nürburgring's production front-wheel drive lap time record for the Nürburgring, it sounds a bit pants. Cold tea, that's lovely. Well, to really show you around the Civic then, polished metal I believe is the colour. The only thing really to show you, the paint otherwise is in great condition. As usual, the gloss black B-pillars down the side, the driver's door, the passenger door, and then there's the small sections at the rear. Showing signs of bad contact, abrasions, marring, surface swirls, the usual, the good stuff. Paintwork otherwise was in great condition. To be honest, a nice single stage refining pass, which is cleansing the paint, it's prepping the paint for ceramic coatings later. It's enhancing the clarity and the gloss. Single stage is almost complete, which actually, pointing at the clock, not Terry's head, sorry Terry. 3:30, good progress.
So I will show you the beepers in about 5 minutes time.
Perfect clarity, much better reflections, all that jazz, all that spiel. Two-stage polish required to shift, to lift, to refine, to prep, to make awesome. February 6th, Civic has received its first of 2-layer paint protection. Terry's on the wheel bolts. Currently this vehicle is only a couple of months old, 3,000 miles on the clock. And look how corroded and rusty the bolts are becoming. And if they're not rusty, they're just generally, well, that one's rusty as well. And after Terry's special nut polishing technique, you've had plenty of practice of that. It's like a mirror. There we go. Wheels coated, calipers coated, exhausts coated. Some funky pipe work under here. Look at that lot. Not often you get to see underneath your own car, but here you are, Mark, all the way through.
In the next hour, I believe we have a Vanquish coming in for a quotation. This is an existing customer who's changed from an Audi R8 into, I don't know what year it is, Vanquish. And then tomorrow sees the drop off from some international cars again for the next 5 weeks. There's 5 weeks of 5 cars for the 5 white detail packages, so quite where this February vlog heads, because I know a lot of them will be commissioned for their own vlog. So considering on the 6th of February is almost about finished for this episode. So any second we're due the Vanquish coming for a quote, and I've just bet Terry a tenner that I'll find sander marks, factory induced sander marks, which if I do, I'll be sure to pick up the camera.
Let's see if the Honda has the window trick. No. It's always the BM boys. BM Merc, the Vag. Oh, it does! Hey. Can't make me jump. So here we are. Here is the Ocellus Vanquish, and I was right. No £10 for Terry, but we have clusters of sander marks on the near side wing. And then if we look in the line in the bonnet here, the scoop, you see it's cloudy haze, surface defect sander marks that haven't been pulled out, but this car is beautiful, and hopefully one will be seen very soon. Next in, competition pack M3. Yep. That is pure white. Ooh, hello. Nice little M down the bottom. I have a feeling I'm going to like this car very much. Are you ready for the heads-up display? Turn the lights off. Oh, it's on already. If I press M2, it should get a rev gauge. Yeah. Vehicle is booked for a 2-day single stage paint enhancement detail with wheels off work to get the fancy competition back wheels coated along with the calipers. Full interior so we can get the white. Imagine how bad this is dirty already, I can see. Vehicle is done, 4,000 miles. Let's get the leather cleaned and more importantly protected. Gearbox position N, ignition on. Ignition off. And then get some multi-layer ceramic paint protection down. Azurite blue bodywork. (10). It is Thursday morning. Quick introduction to the M3, the competition pack. There's been a lot of excitement, a lot of people excited to see this on the social media. It's had a lot of following on Instagram so far. Terry's outside with the wheels, a very well spec'd example of the cameras. It is booked for a paint enhancement detail, which is just a single stage polish. The connecting between the top and bottom light reflecting the connecting divide of surface swirls mooring. This is what we're looking to shift with the single stage. Limitations with how much correction can be made. Buffer trails and the filler cap there. Bless you, Terry, just sneezed outside. But it is a car wash victim. It's been to the roadside car wash since new. So it's no surprise that we're left with a lot of this damage. A couple of areas to point out on the offside. A couple of areas to point out on the near side corner of the bumper without even putting a light on it. Someone's been having fun on this corner of the bumper. Ready? Boom! Goodness knows. So we have a scratch that runs down, the scratch in the middle there, which connects higher up. So there, it's been lost in the middle. Then it was, someone's flatted this. Someone's had a go at removing this paper in it. Oh God, have they even bothered to polish it? I don't know. So this is never going to lift in a single stage. It's never going to lift in a two stage, but it does need to be lifted. I'm not happy leaving this damage present, so gonna have to do what we can to get all that sorted. Shocking. It'll be a two-stage polish on the B pillars, the gloss black finger swipes from being closed. We've got the standard M3 carbon roof, swirls, and then the offside rear. Viewers that have been here before and seen a few other videos, can you see this shape, this half moon? It's better to show it. What do you reckon's caused this? Scratches and abrasions on the surface. Petch filler cap has been swinging on the paintwork. It's scored the paintwork, left abrasions there. For those of you that don't know, that is what that is for. If you look in your filler cap, you will often find, certainly in the newer vehicles like this, somewhere for that to go, as opposed to scratching the paintwork below. And really ought to think about introducing the Ferrari. We can see 612 Scaglietti. This vehicle is next in line for the white detail. You will see a lot more of this. I think it's having its own dedicated vlog, but you can see there's a mass of swirls, and some of the formation, if I zoom in, the formation of the damage on a whole, to me looked almost automated car wash induced, which would be a surprise, but quite possible still. And this vehicle has come in from overseas. It's one of 6 this year so far lined up. And we have something else next door. It came on the same shipment, the second car from Europe, but that will be kept quiet until we start on it in a couple of weeks' time. Back to the BM. Azurite black BMW M3 competition pack complete. There's not been a great deal of footage of this job. It's been difficult, to be honest. The perfectionist in me hates to have to draw the line. It was only booked for a single stage paint enhancement detail. There's a line to draw, there's a budget to work to. The vehicle could have been booked for a two-stage minor correction to chase more marks out the paintwork, if not the major correction. But the owner themselves, they admit that it's a daily use vehicle, lives outside, it has a hard life. It would be almost a shame to see it be perfect, because it's going to be difficult to keep it there. You have to be so sort of prepared and strict with the wash, the timing, the chemicals and all that sort of stuff. So very much enhanced and very glossy. That's the nature of the job. A paint enhancement detail, single stage gloss enhancing detail, and it has the full protection package in place. The wheels have been off, calipers coated, Geon Q2 rim, the bodywork coated GLMOs Plus certified paint protection. Do 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 do. Owner's main concern was the interior. So on camera the seats may look like an ivory or a cream, but actually they are pure white. Whether I've ever seen this before, I don't know, I can't remember. You imagine the practicality, nice detail on the belt look. Daily use vehicle, you have to be so careful, even on the armrests where your elbow sits, and on the center armrest where your elbow, just dirt and grease, it all builds up, and it was showing signs of dirt. It's all been cleansed, it's all been flushed. And leather protection, quartz based leather protection courtesy of Q2 Leather Shield. I might have to get some fancy photos of this in here because it's a bit of a one-off interior. I really like the white detailing. Normally this is sort of this aluminium trim all the way over, or gloss black, which is a disaster. But you think the gloss white here, here and here is pure white. If we look, it's actually a wood veneer. You can see the grain. You certainly can to the eye anyway, whether you can pick it up on camera. You can see the rings. There, you can see that. Still a lovely, lovely, lovely place. I do think I would be afraid to use this car. That's a nice shot. Carbon roof looking slick. Stunning when they're polished up. Any contact is bad contact. Don't close the door with the pillars. Reach around, use the handles. None of this, more of this. So that's it for the BM. That's going to be collected tomorrow 9:45, which is Sunday. Today, Saturday. Next up, the 612 Scalagetti.
Highlight of my month so far. This place is disgusting. February 14th today. I wish you looked at me the way you look at a detailed car. Freshly detailed car. Has to be a white detailed car. To Jim, I like you a lot. You're smart, you're different, and you're a little crazy. And your smile alone can make my day. Happy Valentine's Day, your secret admirer. Rain, rain, going.